I'm working to live a healthier lifestyle. Stick around to hear what I've been doing to work on that. My name is Kay, and I'm your host for today. The June Health Challenge Live Show is a talk show about working to live a healthy lifestyle. I'm a working wife and social media entrepreneur that tries to encourage others to find what works for them to live the life they love. The challenge team is a group of extraordinary individuals that is working to support one another to get better every single day. Join in the conversation, as we are always working to be better. On Happy Trails Hiking, you will find content focused on park travel as well as living a healthy lifestyle. If you're interested in that content, please feel free to subscribe to our channel. If you know someone that might be interested in working to live the life they love and find out more about our Health Challenge team, please feel free to share this show with them. This week is our finale week of our health challenges. I've been doing this for a year now, folks, and I want to introduce you to some of the folks that have joined me along the path here. So today we have a very important person in my YouTube life, and that is Gilbert Rod. Welcome, Gilbert.
Hello, hello, hello. Good to be here.
Well, I'm happy to have you. And just so you all know in the chat, Gilbert is not able to see the chat because he's on Hangouts on his phone, and he's also not able to type into the chat. So I have put his link in the chat as well as in the description for this video. We've got a full room of people here, Gilbert. Let me tell you who all's here.
Yes, please do.
Okay. So Panic D Paranormal History is here. And
yay.
Yes, I know, right? Okay, so I know you are excited, and I am excited about the conversation that's going to be happening right after this show.
Absolutely.
Yes, we're going. Sean and Marianne are going to go head to head with Inspired John, and I'm waiting to see who's going down. No, it'll be good. It'll be fun, and we have a splash raid. Justin Mello is here. Nikki Murphy is here. Desmond Donders, Lori Bryant. Oh my goodness, Joran Jaderberg, Lori Bryant, Rachel Rawson, Karen Summers, Marty's Crew, Our Family Adventures. Gail Crabtree is here. Shauna Marie Penny. Oh my goodness, it is good to see all of you in the room. And for those of you who weren't here right at the beginning, this is Gilbert Rod. And Gilbert, when were you part of our health challenge? It seems like way back.
Oh gosh, I think it all started when you first started the health challenge. I remember one of the first episodes was with you talking about having coffee with your mom, and it really started from there. And I've been a part of the challenge since then, here and there, contributing when I can and having some fun with you guys.
Yeah, I love that. And I know that people go in and out. And my mom was part of the challenge way back when, and now she doesn't do the challenge anymore. When it was a workout challenge and I was just challenging people with 30 minutes a day, she was like, oh, I can do that. But when it got to be like ab challenge and all this stuff, and I was adding food in, she was like, no, I think I'll just support you from afar. Thank you. So, I have always appreciated that you have come in and been supportive of the group as we've gone along. I love that. Gail Crabtree is at the doctor's and streaming you in the waiting room. Well, hello, waiting room.
Hello, everyone.
That's awesome. Yes, and thank you for the splash raid, Timey Libs. Panic D, why don't you throw in your link, please, for the show afterwards, and we will come and see what you've got going on over there. Oh, Shauna Marie Penny is waiting for her pregnancy test results to come back. Well, Oh, good luck.
Ooh.
Whichever way you want that to turn out, I hope it's the best way possible. Sorry. Hello, Dr. Cliff Reiser is here. So while we are, oh, you're using earbuds. Gail Crabtree says we can't say hello to everybody. She's using earbuds. She ruined it. No, I'm kidding. That's awesome, Gail. Thank you for being here today. Hey, Gilbert, why don't you tell us just a little bit about what the Natureman does?
Well, the Natureman goes out into nature.
Really?
Yes. Can you believe it? The guy goes out there and he spends time amongst the trees and about the wild animals, breathing the fresh air, and he wants to share that experience with everyone. Along the way, he shares his stories of life, those interesting moments that he has. Some of them can be a little spooky at times. He's had a few of those. He'll share those on his videos. And then just about, living a healthy life. And one of the things that I've recently been diving into is forest bathing.
Forest
Ooh.
bathing. You're not running around in the forest naked, are you?
Well, I haven't
Oh,
done that.
no.
No,
Wait,
no, no, no. Wait, we won't go down that road. No, we won't go down there. Although that is the most asked question when I mention forest bathing is that, am I going around naked or naked? No, I'm not, folks. But really, in a sense, you are opening yourself up. So in a way, you're becoming naked by more of your soul and your spirit, by letting the presence of nature surround you and becoming one with nature. So there is a little element in there. And if anyone is curious and they want to learn more, they can certainly talk to me about that. They can also check out this book that I read. It's on forest bathing from Amos Clifford. You can find it on Amazon. It's an
And no, we are
excellent
not
book.
sponsored by this.
No, we're not. But this is something that I actually was watching a video from another channel, and I was thinking, and it's sort of like everything that happens in my life is one thing leads to another, one thing triggers another, and we'll get into the whole healthy thing in a moment. But for me, forest bathing was, I watched this video, and this gentleman was talking about forest bathing, and I thought, wait a second, I've been doing something like that already and never knew there was a term for it. And that just got me so excited. So now I want to incorporate that more into my channel, as well as offering tips and tricks along the way of things I've learned in nature. Maybe gear that I have. I like to show the gear that I have and how I use it. So I'll do reviews every once in a while. So it's a mix of everything, and I'll throw a little fun and humor in there, and maybe some short films if you know what I mean.
Sure. Awesome. It sounds like I love watching your stuff. I enjoyed your premiere the other day. That was really
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Karen Summers has to take off, but Karen, thanks for coming. I appreciate you being here. And Inspired John is in the house. So
Hey, Inspired John, yes.
we are ready for the smackdown. Let me tell
Yes,
you.
we are.
Anyway, yeah, we were talking about you guys. I Panic D and Inspired John, you guys, your ears should have been burning. Okay. Well, Shauna Marie, good luck at your doctor's appointment. She's typing a lot in the chat about what's going on and
Yeah.
this, that, and the other. The reason I brought Gilbert Rod on the channel today is to talk about his journey with going vegan. He mentioned in his premiere the other day that it had been 1 year for him to be vegan. And the way I met Gilbert was when we were doing Canteen Cup Tuesdays.
Yes.
And Canteen Cup Tuesdays aren't terribly vegan. So,
No.
I enjoyed. I met him that way. I was in a big collaboration doing Canteen Cup Tuesdays at the time, and I don't know if he messaged me. No, you left a comment and said I did a Canteen Cup Tuesday, so I went to watch it, and so yeah, it was really good. We got Gilbert into our outdoor community and all sorts of things like that. So, yeah. I met you that way, so that was well over a year ago.
Yes, it was.
Tell me what your impetus or the reason you went vegan and why'd you do that?
Well, it's for multiple reasons. Really what it came down to was, and this is where it gets a little disgusting for some people, but this is how it happened for me, is one day I was working and I was really hungry and didn't want to cook anything after work. So I just grabbed a rotisserie chicken and I brought it home and I started devouring that thing like there was no tomorrow. Like it was going to be my last meal and I needed to eat it. But as I was eating it and I was looking at the chicken, I was like, hmm, interesting. And I'm still eating the chicken as I'm thinking this thought. This chicken has bones. Okay. This chicken has muscles and tissues and fibers and all kinds of stuff, and it has skin. And wait a minute, this was a living, breathing. What am I doing? And
Hmm.
it was just like this culmination of everything that takes place in your life. Like I said, it wasn't just that one moment, but everything that led to that moment that made me realize I'm eating something that once was a living, breathing being. And I asked myself, why am I doing this? And from there, I was able to meet someone who introduced me to veganism. And we began talking. And I said, you know what? I think it's time for me to finally make that choice to give up eating meat and dairy products because, number one, for health reasons, I found that whenever I consume meat, I would have this restriction in my throat. And it was like self punishment because I enjoyed the taste of it, but the overall effect on my body was not good, but I would continue to eat it. And then when I realized what I was doing, I said, maybe if I stop, and as soon as I stopped eating meat, I did not have that issue.
Right.
Now, I do realize people have allergies and you can be allergic to certain foods, and there are foods out there that people can have that effect. But for me, when I ate meat or chicken or eggs or anything like that, that same sensation, and it would last not for just like a little while, but it would last like the almost an entire day. I would be grasping for a bottle of water to clear my airways, and
Hmm.
that's when I realized something's not right. But most importantly, I just realized that for me, I didn't want to eat a living, breathing being anymore. It just
Okay.
felt disgusting.
So, I'm not vegan, and I do see some people in the chat. Not being mean or anything. Shauna Marie Penny says I have IBS, so I really have to watch what I'm eating, and chicken is a big part of my diet. Chicken's a huge part of my diet. I
Yeah.
probably eat chicken 4 or 5 times a day. No, sorry, a week, a day. Like now, and then later, and then later. No wonder I'm having trouble with this whole health thing. No, and, yeah, I probably have chicken 4 or 5 times a week and shrimp and all sorts of things like that. So I don't want anybody to think that this show is totally pro vegan. I'm
Right.
asking questions because I met Gilbert and he
That's right.
wasn't vegan.
Right.
And I also met another gentleman, Steve from the Outdoor Nomad, who is being nomadic right now, but met him at our meetup the first part of this month. And he's vegan, but he hunts and he's vegan, but he's vegan just for the health of it.
And that was the other aspect. There are vegans who do so for a couple of reasons. One is for the health reasons, and a majority of vegans that do it for ethical and moral reasons.
Mhm.
So there's a wide array of people in the vegan community, and there's in any community you're going to have a rift between people and what they believe and why they do it. My biggest advice to anyone is if they're looking to look into veganism, do so for your own personal benefits and reasons. Don't do it because someone tells you to do it. Do your own research. And if you have questions, talk to people who are vegan, kind of brainstorm with them and find out what it is that makes them love being a vegan, most importantly, and the reasons why they do it. And then just draw your own conclusion if it's something that you want to do. I would never tell someone, hey, you need to be a vegan because
That's good because it wouldn't happen with me.
no, no, and that's no, and it's not the right thing to do. But if you present information, if you share your experience and your knowledge, and you just leave it up to them to decide what they want to do. For me, if someone from this chat this live stream says, hey, I would love to learn more about veganism and I would consider it, or I've been thinking about it, maybe you can help me along the way, there are plenty of resources available. Or one of the things I will say is if you're someone who wants to try it out, but you don't want to give up meat, but you want the same texture and similar tastes, there are
Mhm.
plenty of products out there today that are meat free that you can consume. And I eat them all the time. There's different brands out there, and I can recommend different brands for you as well. So, like I said, anyone's free to contact me, have any questions like that. I would love to hit them up and, discuss it. Um,
Awesome, Gilbert. I do
yeah.
need to get to the chat. Hold on. Rachel Rawson says, I'm very tempted to try vegan for a month as my guts feel crappy sometimes. But I do like meat, so I just try not to think about the killing stage. Thanks, Rachel. And then people are talking about all my poultry that I was eating 4 times a day.
Yes.
Tiny Lip says, wow, breakfasts and second breakfasts. And Marty's Crew says, hashtag eat the chicken. And and then we got into chicken tacos and chicken fajitas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so they're all being goofy. Jorn says, I'm vegetarian myself, and that's because I'm allergic to meat. So
Yes.
there you go. Jaja Galore is here. You walked into a wonderful conversation. Yes, Jaja, I've welcome to the show, by the way. This
Welcome.
is a June Health Challenge. And I don't know if you know my guest today, but this is Gilbert Rod. And
Hello.
Gilbert is talking about his health journey and veganism. I do want to ask, along with your health journey, are you like when you went vegan? Since I know Steve the Outdoor Nomad did it to lose weight and get his cholesterol down, have you noticed any of those side effects or benefits?
Well, I have been to the doctors, and one of the things that was noticed, and this happens with many vegans, is that my vitamin B12 levels were low. So I'm on supplement for that. And also my vitamin D has been low, so I'm on supplement for that as well. But I've definitely noticed that personally, for health reasons, I definitely feel better at times when before when I would eat meat, I would feel like slower. It would actually have this effect that I would just be like always tired. Now, I do have other health issues that I've had to work around, but what I've noticed by going vegan is that I could choose to eat the foods that I know are going to give me the energy I need and help me to live a better life, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I've definitely noticed that many of the guests might not know that I was diagnosed with Lyme disease about a year and a half ago.
Gotcha.
And one of the side effects of Lyme disease is fatigue and depression and all those issues, major headaches. And every once in a while, I still have the headaches. In fact, I woke up this morning with one and I said, well, really? I'm going for an interview today and I'm going to have a headache. No, we're not going to let that happen. But what
Nice.
I've, yes, positive thinking, right?
There you go.
And I said,
Last minute.
that's it. And so for me personally, and again, everybody is different as far as how being a vegan is going to have an impact on their life. For me, for health reasons, I've noticed I've been able to balance my weight for the most part. I haven't lost a lot of weight, but then again, I always love to eat anyways. So
Mhm.
that's kind of a downfall of mine. So I'm more in the category of I love to eat and I need to control the eating portion of it, um, as well as the exercise, you know.
We've got some
And
others in our challenge that love to eat. I think we
oh,
spend more time in our Twitter chat talking about food
oh my goodness.
than anything. Ask Marty's crew, chicken tacos. Chicken
Oh,
tacos. Mention tacos, and Marty's gonna pop into the chat any single time. It works out all the time.
I
Um,
love pizza.
oh, pizza. Yes. Yeah. Thursday night is pizza night at our house. So woohoo. I'm
Mm,
excited. So just for a station break and a few announcements, and then we'll get back into their interview. So tomorrow, to finale out our finale week, I'm having Marty, our Tony from Marty's crew, our family
yay.
adventures, on the show. And then that will be our final show. So he'll get to be part of our final sign off. And then tonight for my channel, I've got part 2 of Theodore Roosevelt National Park, and you get to see some of the most epically calming animals I've ever seen in my life. I say in the video that I know why Theodore Roosevelt went to this area when he was in mourning for both his wife and his mother. They died on the same day, Gilbert. Did you know that?
Didn't.
Yeah, they
I
both
didn't.
died on the same day, which was Valentine's Day.
Oh,
It's heartbreaking. But
wow.
Theodore Roosevelt went to this location in North Dakota, and he thought that he was going there on a great hunting adventure and this, that, and the other. And he just fell in love with the North Dakota Badlands. And this was before he had become president or even run for president. But he went out there for cleansing. And yeah, it was one of the most cleansing things he'd ever done, and he felt more at peace there than anywhere. And I can see exactly why. And I try to show you that in the video tonight. I'm very excited about it.
Nice.
Very excited about it. Yes. Marty Screw says, "Oh, they're putting tacos and pizza in the chat now." And Rachel Rawson says she's cut out cheese, so she's definitely getting closer to the veganism. And then Marty says, "Did you hear that, guys? I'm the grand finale. I know you're jealous." Yep, totes jealous. Totes jelly. That's what I'm supposed to say.
There we go.
Anyway, all right. So for those of you who might be jumping in for our last 9 minutes today, please say hello to our guest, Gilbert Rod. And Gilbert, you had, well, on your channel, you spent a lot of time talking about the Natureman and being outdoors, and how being outdoors gives you an outlook.
Yes.
And how has your new lifestyle affected your outlook on life?
Well, I think before I started going out into nature, my life was to me, at points, very sad and depressing. And I had a lot of negative stuff happening. And I needed that outlet. I needed something, someplace or somewhere to go where I could just release all of that negative energy. And the first day I went out into the trail, I didn't know what I was doing. I just said, I'm going to pick a trail near where I live and just do this and go for it. And that's exactly what I did. And the first trail I went to, I had no idea what I was doing. I just started walking the trail and just began observing what was around me as I was walking. And I'll tell you one thing's for sure. I wasn't prepared for some of the hills I had to climb, and I was feeling it. By the time I was done with that walk, my legs were killing me. But I walked away with this sense of satisfaction, this sense of accomplishment, and I felt like, you know what? This is something that I've been needing for such a long time, and I want to go back and experience it more. And the more I go out into the woods, number one, I find a place of peace and serenity. I find a place where if you have stuff on your mind and you want to just hash it out, you can talk to the trees. And they're not gonna talk bad to you. They're gonna listen. And that's something that goes along with the forced bathing that I didn't know was part of the process is if you have stuff on your mind, you can go out there and speak it out. Let forth that negative energy, and you'll be surprised what positive energy comes back to you. If you just stop for a moment and listen to the birds, you'll notice that, and I find this all the time, it's not just one bird, but you'll hear maybe 7 or 8 different birds that they're chirping and they're talking and they're having like a conversation. And I'll sit there and just listen and be like, oh, I wonder what that bird is saying or what that bird is saying. You begin to have these thoughts that, wow, this is fascinating, just like the conversations we have. And you learn that there's so much life in nature. And for me, that's such a positive thing that I want people to understand that as much as there's life in nature, there's life out there for all of us.
Right.
And I want people to, and this is where the phrase enjoy every moment of life came from, because every time I go out into the woods, I gain something as far as how much life is precious. You see the smallest little things. You might see a leaf fallen from the tree onto the ground, and as it floats down, it's just kind of like going like this, and you see it wavering back and forth, and as it lands gently on the ground, it's like nothing was harming it along the way. It was just this peaceful moment, and it's one that you can just reflect upon, and it's up here.
Okay, so as you were reflecting on your peaceful moment, I was thinking that leaf is going to die. Because that's where it's going to die, is the fourth floor. It's actually dying in the process.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, so it's over life. Okay, so Skywatcher footage came in. Hello, Skywatcher footage. It is
Hello.
see you. I'm sure that Skywatcher footage is well, I haven't ever seen Skywatcher footage before, but I like watching the skies, and that's all part of our nature stuff. You said something a minute ago. That reminded me of a story you told me as we were talking at the beginning. Thank you, Gail Crabtree, for coming in. Have a great day. That you said negative. You wanted to turn negative into positive.
Yes.
Do you want to tell that story that you mentioned earlier about your grandfather?
Yes.
Okay.
So it was many, many years ago, at least how it feels now. But it was when I was younger. I was working. My first job, ironically, was working at Burger King. And today, anyways, so my first job was working at Burger King. I was working every day, 2 meals a day, sleep the rest, and I lost like 40 pounds. And I know it's kind of a surprise when I tell people this. And I was down to almost 125 pounds. And my grandfather, one day, he was in the nursing home, and he just looked at me and just out of the blue said, "You need to fatten up." And I was like, "I need to fatten up?" It took me 9 months to lose this 40 pounds. But that negative phrase stuck in my head. And I thought, well, in order to please him, I need to put on weight. So what do? I start consuming as much food as I can. And all of that weight I lost, I gained back and then some.
Mhm.
And before you know it, I went from 125 pounds all the way up to 230. I gained over 100 pounds. And it wasn't until 2012 when I realized that as I was tying my shoelaces and I was out of breath and I needed to make a change, it was like, I need to change because I don't want to live this life anymore. And that thought, that negative thought that I had in my mind resonated with me. And I said, why am I doing this? And it was like, it was because of that phrase. It was what my grandfather told me. He said something negative to me, and I let that affect my life. And what I want people to understand is if someone pronounces something negative in your life, please don't let it affect you in a negative way. Turn that negative into a positive. Do something positive with it because you don't want to go down that road where you feel guilt and shame because of what someone feels, especially when it's people that are close to you in your family.
Right. And that's one of those things that Gilbert has always put out on his channel is that if you are having negative thoughts, please feel free to comment. Please feel free to contact him. He is on Instagram and on Twitter. Push for Victory, is that?
Yeah, so Push for Victory on Twitter, push.for.victory is my Instagram.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And Food Forest Permaculture is here. Thank you for coming, Howie. I appreciate you being here. I did drop a link just a second ago over to Panic D and Inspired John's chat. Whatever that's going to be. It should be interesting. It is starting here in 2 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
I know this half hour goes by really fast, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. But Gilbert, I really appreciate you spending time with me today and explaining where you come from with veganism and how you feel like it has affected your health and your life. And I love that here on YouTube, we can do things differently and still agree to be friends, and that, you live a healthy life. I live a healthy life. Other people who, eat totally and completely differently than either one of us do,
Yeah.
can live a healthy life as well. You've got to find what works for you to live the life you love. So that's awesome. And I have appreciated you being in for the challenge or just in the background of the challenge. You've been an inspiration to many of us in the challenge, and I appreciate that so, so much. Say goodbye, and then I will say my goodbyes.
Well, thank you so much, Kay. It's been awesome to be here and to share my story with everyone. This time has flown by very quick, but I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. And as I always say to everyone, take a moment to get outdoors and to enjoy every moment of life.
Exactly. Thank you for being here. You are not replaceable until tomorrow at 10 a.m. Do something great for your health. Thanks, everybody. See you over at Panic D.